Hello, fellow hair artists. It's time to talk hair, beauty, and the business behind it all. Welcome to Beyond the Shears in the 406. This is a space for artists to connect, grow, and learn from each other. I'm your host, Kitty Youngquist, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, someone who supports us behind the scenes and helps make the salon magic happen. Anna, our rep from Salon Services.
Hi, thank you
How
for
are
having
you?
me. I'm good. This is so exciting.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it. One of the things that I want to do here is I just want to make sure that I'm teaching all of the stylists that are in the state of Montana all of the amazing opportunities they have. I feel like sometimes we get pigeonholed here because all of our cities are so far apart. And I feel like one of the barriers I'm trying to break down here in Missoula is I really think that there should be some more salon collaboration and just more education. I feel like you are an underutilized tool.
Well, thank you.
Not that you're a tool. You know what I mean.
I'm a resource.
You're a that's a much better way to put it. Sorry
I'm a
about
tool
that.
too. It's okay. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel like that when we create community within salons, it helps each other grow. And I commend you for putting something like this together so that you can provide that for Montana as a whole.
That's kind of what I just feel like a lot of times, and especially our sister stylists that are like in solas, they kind of get a little bit, again, I hate to use the word pigeonholed, but you kind of feel alone.
It's an isolated space.
Right.
Yeah.
And even in salons, I just feel like we don't get as much education here in Montana. I feel like we always have to travel to go get stuff. So it just seems like it's just a little bit farther out of reach. And I feel like you are that arm that can help us reach for things.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities within salons when we get together for us to create bigger spaces for education, for us to get more artists to come in. It's so tough. We just don't have a major airport. And we're kind of looked over as a state. And so I think creating that community is going to help the education space grow immensely.
I think so too. I used to work for Michael O'Rourke, that does big, sexy hair way back in the beginning of my career. It didn't end well. I actually ended up getting fired, but it was because the lady that owned my salon was like, if I wanted to be an educator for him, I had to carry his product.
Sure.
And his product was coming out on the shelves in Target. And my salon owner said, nope, we're not carrying that here. And so I had to go to the owner himself and say, I'm really sorry. I'd really like to still keep educating for you, but I cannot carry your product in the salon. The owner won't allow it. And he fired me. So that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, that does.
But I
break my heart.
also stood behind Julie because I did not really want to work for somebody who is what is it called when they do that?
I mean, I
there's
suppose that it's a form of diversion.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. So, but just sometimes things just don't always work out. I forgot what I brought that up for. That's why, because he told me, I was like, I'm from Montana and we really, really struggle to get education out there. I said, I'd really love to be part of your Western, to go there and to educate people. And he says, it's not worth it. He says, there's only 1 million people in the whole state of Montana. I can hit that many people going to Sacramento.
See, he's wrong.
That's what he said. I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah.
La-di-da.
Could not disagree more. I cover the entire state of Montana for Salon Services, and I was with another distributor prior. So I'm actually celebrating my 12th year in distribution.
Congratulations.
I'm many more years, thank you, invested in the industry as I'm licensed, and I was sweeping hair and taking phone calls and booking appointments and paper books back in high school.
Yes.
And what I've learned over the years about Montana is we are a hidden gem. Just how everyone has discovered Montana and they're coming out here. Yellowstone made us so incredibly popular. Once people experience Montana, there's nothing like it.
True.
And our salons are the same. And although we're underutilized now, there is so many 6-figure salons, 7-figure salons. I have a huge percentage of 6-figure stylists. We are worth it.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's also one of the things that I'm trying to teach in my salon culture is is charging your worth,
Yes.
not overbooking yourself, not feeling like a slave behind the chair. Um, it's almost like anybody who's been doing hair for 5 to 10 years, it's just like that's been drilled into our heads. If your books are full, then you're successful. But that doesn't necessarily equate to a full bank account. And it most certainly, I remember in the early portions of my career, I was an absent mom until I decided, okay, this is not how I want to work. I need to be there for my son. Not only do I need to be there for my kids, but I want to coach basketball at their school.
Awesome.
So I started I started scheduling people around my kids. So they always came first. And it's such an amazing thing that we can do that, right?
Yeah.
But you have to take the second to say, this time is saved for my kid. And that was right in the middle of my day. I would leave from 2 in the afternoon until 5, and then I'd come back and work from 5:30 until 8.
That's the glory of this position is we really have the opportunity to create our own schedules. And sometimes it's hard for people to grasp that they don't have to do hair from 9 to 5. And success looks different to everyone.
Yes.
And sometimes it's a big bank account for success. Absolutely. But sometimes it's work-life balance. I know stylists who've moved into working 3 days a week and they still make incredible money and they still go to hair shows
Yep.
and they're still talented and successful, but they're home to catch those games, to coach that basketball. And for them, the work-life balance is success. For some people, it's how many employees they have or how many chairs they
Right.
have or if they're opening a second location. So my success, your success, and Sally Sue's success are all very different.
Yes.
And none of them are the wrong way. And that's what makes this industry incredibly beautiful.
Yes. I just wanted you to touch really quick because you said that you've been doing this for how many years?
12 years in distribution.
Okay. And what drew you to this? Because it sounds like you said that you were like doing books even before.
Yes.
So you were like working as a receptionist at a salon.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, well, it was before high school. I was probably 13. I had someone who was teaching me swim lessons. And her mom owned a salon in Stevensville, Montana. And she kind of took me under her wing. And then I was working, doing reception, things like that. I realized that I loved it and I wanted to go to school for it. So in 2010, I went out to Portland and I went to a Paul Mitchell Portland school. And I decided I was going to do hair. I specialized in makeup. I just loved everything about the industry. And I moved back. And although I did those things, I fell into distribution, low-level distribution.
How?
I actually was looking for a part-time job because I was so afraid because I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I didn't have the resources. I thought that all my options were booth rental or working out of sports clips.
Right.
And neither one of them sounded very good. So I was like, well, I have to pay my rent. And there was a part-time position available in a store.
Okay.
So I took it part-time and it was a slippery slope. It went to full-time. It went to assistant manager, and then it went into becoming a rep. And then I've been with numerous brands. Long story short, I always knew that I loved the industry. And I always teach people that I actually feel like I'm making a bigger difference helping the licensed professional find their path and make more money year after year or get that work-life balance than I did when I was helping people behind the chair because we have so little resources out there.
Right. I really appreciate you and what you do. And I again, just like you said, success looks different for everybody. I love this industry because also what you do in this industry can look different for everybody. So even though you went to school to do hair, you're in distribution now, you're still fulfilled. And that to me, again, is another part of success, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I was just in the beauty school and I was talking to them about the paths that they can walk. And we can all specialize in something. We can all find our niche. Or you could become an educator. You could work for a distributor. You could become a platform artist. Whose hair do you want to do? Is it mom's? Is it on stage? Is it for a small group, a large group? And the fact that we have the ability to choose any of those within our industry is incredible. And I don't think there's a single other industry like it.
And you can change. So, I mean, look what Lisa did. So Lisa is an amazing hairstylist. I love her. She's an incredible artist and a great coworker. And we ended up doing New York Fashion Week together. And I kind of introduced her into this New York Fashion Week thing that I was doing. And she sold the salon to me and took her about a year. because I think she was really roped in behind the chair. She was a
Absolutely.
great stylist and her clients love her. I think it was very hard for her to pull away from that. But she did. And now, in fact, I think this week she's in Paris
She
doing
is.
doing
She
Paris
just
Fashion
messaged
Week.
me
Yep.
from Paris. Lisa is so incredible. Gosh, I have never seen anybody cut quite like Lisa.
Yep.
And she's kind of carved her own path, which is so cool because I think she's done everything. Did you know she worked in distribution a long time ago?
I did
think she
not
worked
know
for
that.
Graham Webb.
I did
Um,
know she worked for Graham
and
Webb,
she
but
educated, and
yes.
she's incredible, and she's a great example of all the different things that you can do. But if you think about separating yourself from the salon, I can't imagine how hard that would be, because I think if what I would do if I wasn't connected to all the salons that I'm with today, and that would be hard.
Yep.
And she's had some of those clients for probably 15 plus years.
20, I think.
You spend more time with
Yep.
your clients than you do
Yep.
your family.
And they're friends. And it's also, I love that she's such a great example of how you can pivot.
Absolutely.
It's hard to pivot. You have to make it's hard. Whenever you become a closer version to that perfect self that you see in your head, like everybody has a vision of where they can go and what they can become. The reason that a lot of people don't do it is because it's hard. In order to move to the next level, there has to be a death of where you're at now. So that means, like, for example, with Lisa, she had to choose, okay, if I want to do this, I've got to let go of this salon that I've poured my heart and my soul into, and my clients that I've been with forever. If I am going to have because you can't do both. It's too hard. So, but she did it, and you can do that at any age. It doesn't matter if you're just getting out of beauty school or if you've been doing hair. On the 14th of this month, I'll be 34 years.
Congratulations.
So that's a long ass time.
How many times do you think you started over in 34 years?
Oh God, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I think that's what made me so fearless is I moved a lot. And when you're a hairstylist, it's scary to move. But I did it so much that it quit being scary.
I love that you said fearless, because that is absolutely one of the words I'd use to describe you. And there's been times in my career where I think that fear has held me back. And I think our biggest enemy in this industry is ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And I actually got a little fearless tattoo at a hair show.
I love it.
In Austin a few years ago, to remind myself that to not be afraid of the unknown and to kind of embrace it.
So when I'm coaching, I like to use this example because we all were kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
We all were on a high dive at one point in our life. We all have tried to go jump off a diving board, right?
Yes.
Are you terrified when you're up there?
Always.
So, but when you jump, is it fun?
Absolutely.
So that's how life is. If you don't do it scared, you're probably not going to do it. My daddy said, you just better get used to doing things scared.
Yeah.
And once you get used to doing things scared, then it's not as scary.
Exactly.
Because you've conditioned yourself to be fearless. But you have to condition yourself, because if you just go off of your instinct, you will talk yourself out of something every time. Like if you give yourself the chance, you're like, oh, I think I want to take an extension class, but I'm 50 years old and I don't know if I can do an extension class at 50. I don't know if I can learn anymore. Well, the second that you said, I want to take an extension class, that's basically what you want. That's your desire. That's where your head is actually at. And you talk yourself out of it. So if you have that inclination to move, you should move.
I couldn't agree more. I truly think that we are our biggest enemy in this industry. We hold ourselves back. So if we can let some of that go, the sky's the limit.
Yes. Why don't you tell me? Because this is kind of what I was trying to tell them. How can you take some of this off of people's plates? Now, I'd like you to give a couple examples, because there's several different things that you do, right? So I would like you to give an example for a salon owner, maybe, and then a booth renter and a commission stylist. What are some things that you can do for each of those people?
To help them excel in their
Yes.
career? Yeah. So a lot of people have a misconception about me that I am just a salesperson.
I know that that's not true.
It's not true. My job would be so much easier if it was. But what I really am is a business consultant, and that's why I'm your salon consultant. You guys have been washing your hair for a very long time. I trust that you know how to pick your own shampoos. Yes, I'm well versed in the lines that I carry, and I can help you find something that might be suited for your space. But the business consulting aspect is where I'm very passionate, and it's probably the most underutilized tool that I have. Um, Salon owners, there's so many different moving pieces for a salon owner. Sometimes it looks like contracts. Making sure that everything's buttoned up in a contract is really important. I help salon owners with that. Placement and employment. I know so many stylists since I've been doing this for so long, and I do service such a large territory. We're constantly having people move from other towns,
Yep.
to and from. I know personality types. I'm like, oh, I think she would be a great fit here. So just networking and connecting, utilizing reward systems and education. We know that when people know about their product, it moves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anything on a shelf costing you money or sitting. So just really making sure that that salon owner is getting every dollar that they can. And that's not limited to salon owners. That's also going to be your independents, your booth runners.
Mm-hmm.
Commission's really cool because I can build that kind of environment through the salon owner by making sure that the salon gives them what they need, because it's one of the perks for working in a commission space.
Correct.
Is what do I get from my salon owner that sets the space apart from the rest? And a lot of it comes down to education and how they're supported in their space. Do they have back bar and working product? Do they run sales? Do they bring in new clients? A lot of marketing and like merchandising we do, because some people don't have that vision. Now you have the vision, but a lot of hairdressers want to come to work and they just want to do good hair and they want to go home.
Yep.
So that's where I can come in and help with the things that maybe they're not so great at, or I can help them hire someone who is great at it so that we can take some of that off the plate. And if they just want to come in and do great hair and go home, and they got a good receptionist and they've got someone great doing their social media and a brand that supports them the way that they support the brand, then they're set to be successful.
I'm telling you, I could not do what I do without McKenna, Erin, and Jenny.
Yes.
Like, if you took one of them away from me, I would be hobbled.
It's like your limb.
They literally are so amazing. And I am so lucky to have such a great support system. It helps me be a better owner, honestly. It gives me the time to do things like this. If I didn't have Jenny, Erin, and McKenna doing the things that they do in the salon, I would not have time to do podcasts and bring this message to other people,
Yes.
And I feel like that's kind of my calling. I feel like I'm 34 years in the business and I love doing hair and I love my clients, but I really want to continue to support other stylists in becoming the best version of themselves that they can become. So that's where my focus. I'm kind of pivoting a little bit too. When I'll never forget the meeting that Lisa and I had when she asked me to buy the salon. I was like, I didn't even believe her at first. It was crazy. We laughed so hard. But just opening up that possibility and her asking me that question, it's almost like my mind opened. And it's like, okay, I've had my head down and I've been doing hair and I love doing hair and I've been super happy helping my clients and being invested in them. But I've always wanted to support other stylists too. Always. My whole life I've wanted to. And I was going to open a salon in 2007 in California. And my husband at the time, not my current husband, but my ex-husband, he got a promotion that I was going to sign the lease the next day on the salon. I had plans drawn. I'd had blueprints made up. I had stuff ready to order.
You were there.
I was right there. And he came home and he's like, I got a promotion. We have to move to Salt Lake. And I had no idea then that it would be in 2023 before I actually got my salon.
It wasn't your time.
It just wasn't. But I'm glad. I always knew it was there. And I just never saw how it was going to happen. And it's so strange to me how sometimes when things are meant to happen, they just kind of unfold in front of you, right? And you have to learn how to trust those instincts too, so you don't talk yourself out of it, right?
Yeah, that's that fear.
That's your urge. That urge to move forward is what you need to listen to. How about a myth or a misconception about what salon reps are. What would you like to bust?
Sometimes people ask me if I have a shampoo in my car. And do I have a shampoo in my car? Yes. My car is kind of like another part of me. I always joke and tell people I live in it. So,
Right.
I've got snacks in there, I've got shampoos and swatch books. I've got winter boots in case I break down on the side of the road, or you wore heels to a dinner and I got to get you out of them, whatever. But I don't have anything to sell you out of my car.
That's a good one. So yes, let's all remember that reps don't sell out of their cars.
Not this rep, at least.
Yes, good. Let's see. Give me the best advice for getting the most out of like, how are people going to access you? Do you have like a personal, like, how about your Instagram handle? That's probably perfect.
Yep.
Just anything like that.
The way that people can access me is through any of my social media platforms. So that's going to be my Facebook page,
Which
and
is
my Instagram page, and they're both SS Pro Anna Myers. Instagram is just SS Pro Anna M, so you don't have to spell my last name.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually reach me on the Salon Services website. You can go to a section that says Find Your Rep, and you just look for Montana, and it'll give you direct access to me there. You can get a QR code from the store. You can scan it when you're in a Salon Services store to get directly to me. Honestly, I always tell people, you send me a text, you send a songbird, however you send it, I'll get it and I'll get back to you.
And you just like what we did today. Like I just made an appointment with you and you came in and we're just sitting here talking. So it's a lot easier than I think people really realize.
Yeah, I try my best. I do drop-ins every so often. I read the room. I try my best not to interrupt services because I understand that that is your client's time. Appointments are always the best because then you have a little slice of time to chat with me about things. And if we're able to step out of your salon space where it's publicly facing, we can talk things like prices and stuff. I'll never talk about anything like that in front of your guest. And some of my salons, we meet outside of the salon so that they can let me know.
That's what we did.
Things that are private to them. Or sometimes it's really distracting to meet with your rep in a salon because you're like, hang tight, I got to take this call. I'm going to fold these towels. And you absolutely should and can while I'm here. But if you ever wanted to meet coffee, cocktails, at the park, I've had meetings everywhere. I've had meetings on the green. I have golfed with my clients
That's
before.
hilarious. I actually have met several stylists in parks because they've got their kids and they want to interview, but they have their kids. So I'm like, oh, let's just meet at the park.
Works for me. I'm flexible.
I just wanted to take a quick minute to shout out Moroccan Oil because I know you have lots of things to say about that. And I just wanted to add to that because I switched the salon over to Moroccan Oil 3 years ago.
I think so.
And 2 years ago, right when I bought. So I have absolutely loved it. I feel like their education and their support is amazing. I love, what is that cute little
Leanne?
Yes. I love it when she comes in. I can't say enough good things about it. So if you're thinking about switching lines, I would very highly recommend it. And I just thought maybe you might want to throw a quick plug in there so you can kind of people can understand what makes Moroccan Oil different.
For sure. So obviously we know it's really confusing when you graduate or when you step into this industry from another space, or maybe you were nursing and now you're a stylist, or maybe you just did haircuts and now you're going to do color. It's really overwhelming to choose what you're going to do next because there's so many incredible lines out there and brands, and they all offer something different. What I love the most about Moroccan Oil is they spent 10 years formulating that color line. They were just argan oil products, styling products, and tools for so long. And when they finally came out with their color line, you could tell that they really put their heart and soul into it. They actually tried to launch a handful of years ago, and it just didn't cut it. It wasn't what they wanted. So they went back to the drawing board, scratched it all. And you can tell with the products and their performance. Moroccan Oil also has some of the best rewards that I've ever seen a program have as far as percentages back you get when you make purchases. I always tell my clients, I don't care who you partner with because I care about your business and I want you to be successful, but do not partner with a brand that doesn't give you rewards and education back, because You're invested in them and they should be invested in you.
Exactly. And I just want to add that I saw a funny meme today and I almost posted it, but I try to be very careful because I like to be funny, but sometimes it goes a little too far. This meme in particular was when the rep says that you'll get education, and then it says said education, and it's just like mud boiling up out of
Yep.
So Moroccan Oil's education is actually wonderful. I mean, we get so much out of it. So it's not like just the boring, usual kind of, you know what I'm talking about.
The product knowledge classes that make you sleep.
Yes. And they keep it exciting, and they are super knowledgeable that you don't feel like they're just feeding you full of crap. And, I just get a lot of value out of their education. And I do quarterly education here, which I don't think a lot of salons do that, but they will come in quarterly for me if I ask them to. Yeah. They don't fight. It's just no heels dug in. We'll be there, and I love it.
I think that education is tough because the pandemic really changed our world for education. A lot of brands didn't have any resources virtually, and the brands that did really excelled, right? Mm-hmm. And so for a manufacturer, it's challenging because not only do you have to have education in person, but you also have to have it virtually, and it also has to make sense on paper, right? Someone pays for it somewhere, whether it's you and your purchases with hair color or your distributor. And then it's challenging to have people attend classes because so many resources are available on your YouTube and your TikTok. But I always tell everyone that there is nothing like an in-person hands-on education class.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially when it's a good educator that explains things really well. I just can't say enough good things about that. Got another question for you. How do you help salons stay on trend?
Yeah.
And ahead of the curve?
Ahead of the curve is the key because you want to be on trend before it's trendy. Fortunately for me, Montana's a little slower to pick up our trends. So I get to help people be on trend a little ahead of the curve, just, by luck. But I rely on my manufacturers. They know what's hot before me because a lot of these trends are going to hit Europe first. And a lot of my brands aren't actually exclusively to the US. So Moroccan Oil, gosh, they are actually the face of Eurovision, and they have been for years. So you think about the trends that happen over there before they happen here. We're the first to know about it because my brands know about it. Kevin Murphy, for example, one of their core values is going to be fashion. And so they're always ahead of the trend. He actually invented the beach wave. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was the first person to add eyeshadow to a product to give it a beach-like texture on an editorial shoot. So I wish that I was just trendy naturally. I actually have a buckle girl that dresses me. Shout out to Kelsey. But yeah, I actually have to rely on my manufacturers to bring that to me. And then I just get it out to my clients as soon as I hear Honey Blonde is back.
Yes. Those golden tones, those GIs are coming, and honey, definitely. It's not my favorite trend, I'm going to say. Maybe it's, you know what, I'm not going to say that because I love all aspects of hair. I think it's the pendulum is swinging. We're going from that super platinum-y, ashy, right? Yes. People are sick of it because it's been a thing for 7 years or so. And now it's like, oh, I want some gold in my hair.
I lived off of bottles of purple shampoo in 2012, and I'm happy to retire them.
Right. So what does one of your days look like?
So my days are going to be different every single week, but obviously I have an immense amount of travel. I try really hard to make sure that I'm in anywhere between 6 to 10 salons a day, depending on what that drive looks like. Some of my salons are drop-ins because that's what the owner, the booth renter, that's what they have said they prefer. Hey, you don't have to make an appointment. My clients are all really chill. You pop in, say hi, chat with me for 15 minutes, text me if you have follow-ups, and that works for them. Some people are strictly, I need an hour with you. I want a meeting with you. So it kind of varies. I have a mixture of those drop-ins, those meetings. And it just depends on where I'm at. Mondays, I do a lot of virtual education for myself because if I'm not getting educated, I can't bring that to
Right.
you. I try and book classes at the beginning of the week, so maybe I'm sitting in on one of your classes. Um, yeah, it's different every day, but I am not at home.
Right.
It's very hard to catch me at my house. I always tell Devin that it's like having an army wife, but I'm in the shampoo army,
Right.
right? So I do travel an immense amount, but it's face to face. That's what my day is
Ooh,
like.
I kind of want to do this. It's a little controversial,
Yeah.
but since my brother's wife is from Billings and I am from Missoula, and I think Missoula is so much better than Billings, why don't you compare a day in Missoula to a day in Billings?
Yes. Okay.
And then I'll tell Kendra to listen to this so that she can hear.
If she's not listening already, she's in trouble.
Right.
A day in Missoula is very different than a day in Billings, as you can imagine. I find the cities to be very different, just from like how they are put together. Billings has the most salons per capita of anywhere in Montana. There's a salon on every corner. I mean, they could probably have snowball fights with each other for miles to come. So it's fast and furious in Billings. A lot of drop-ins because I'm trying to cover so much ground at one time. And their salons are big and their salons are busy. Kendra's a great example. She
Mhm.
has what feels like a million salon suites, and it's always so incredibly busy in there. There's a lot of moving pieces and parts. And I find here we have, small spaces, suite spaces. This is one of the biggest salons in Missoula. So there's a lot less big salons out here than there is there. So it is just very different. And I find that my Missoula folks, because they have had so much access, I didn't always have Billings, are pretty regimented in those appointment times.
Right.
Where Billings is fast and furious.
Off the cuff a little
Also,
bit.
my salons aren't close together.
You
So
have to drive a lot more.
I have to drive a lot more. If I do make an appointment, I try really hard to get them close together because it takes forever to get to the other side of town and back. Yeah. Depends on where you're going, but there's every kind of salon you can imagine.
Okay,
out
now
there.
just because I'm from Whitefish, let's throw the Flathead in there too.
Yes. The Flathead is awesome. All of my places are awesome. There's not one place in Montana that I don't love going to. Whitefish has less salons than you'd think.
I know.
Yeah. I thought for sure that I was going to have a ton more salons than I do, but no. And then Kalispell, they have quite a bit of salons. They actually have a lot of new salon spaces going in. Like the Evergreen area is really booming. The Heights is booming in Billings.
Yep.
And then anymore in Missoula, our outskirts, your Frenchtown salons, those things like that. Everybody's expanding outward. I don't think there's a single area that doesn't have tremendous growth in Montana and opportunity. But Flathead, girl, I cannot get anybody to go to a class in the summertime with that lake.
Mhm. Right.
No.
I know.
When educators want to do summertime out here, I'm like, is that for you or is that for the salon? We're going to have two people attending
Right.
with a lake like that.
Yes, it's very true. Yeah, it's hard. I know. I guess I'm so passionate about education that I get like micro insulted when people don't want to come to education because
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you not want education? I've always just like craved it. So it's kind of weird to me when I'm like begging people to come. I'm like, just go.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Everybody's core values are different.
Yep.
Everybody learns differently. I talk to clients a lot about their love languages, whether it comes to your employees or the client that's in your chair, understanding their love language, what drives them, what inspires them is really important. And some stylists, education isn't their love language, or they don't do well in that kind of environment. They want to see it virtually or they want to do it independently. And I'm really thankful that I have brands that have resources for every style of learning.
Have I told you about my apprenticeship program that I'm making?
No, and the state of Montana just passed apprenticeship through beauty school. So you'll be able to give those students hours.
That's awesome. So we're in the very beginning phases of it. Jules, who just graduated,
Yes, I
and
know
Gwen,
Jules.
who's still in school, and she's doing our WEFT lab. they're going to be my first people I'm working with on this, but I'm also working on putting it online because I can actually, the state of Montana, if you have a hairstylist that hasn't been in the business for a while and wants to get back into it, and it's kind of like a rehab thing, the state of Montana will pay me to help them.
That's incredible.
So I kind of want to do something with that to see if there's anybody that just wants to get back into it. It basically, my apprenticeship program just runs through everything from consultation and booking to like a teaser course on our extensions for all different kinds of color highlighting, root taps, just like balayage, things that maybe people have not had here in Montana, or if you quit school or if you quit doing hair 5 years ago and want to get back into it. So I'm kind of playing around with some of that stuff, and people will be able to do it online and just submit videos to me and then I can just grade it, and I don't even have to see them.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm pretty excited about that. That's up and coming for Fabric Salon. So
honestly, I am so glad you have this resource because it happens more often than you think. I've had many people, my nail tech is a really good example of that. She did my nails. I had acrylics for 13 years, and she's a very good friend of mine, and we would talk business in the chair because we're friends. And I would talk about ways I supported salons and hair shows I would go to. And one day she's doing my nails and she says, Anna, what if I did hair again? And all of a sudden I said, you did hair? I didn't even know, and I thought we were besties, right? And she told me about a really bad experience that she had about cutting someone's very long hair short, and that client having regret and the boyfriend being mad, and it rolling into something that discouraged her so badly that she stopped doing hair. And she said to me, all these conversations you have and knowing I have you in my corner inspired me to think that I could do it again. And we were able to give her the resources that she needed to get her back on her feet. But if she had a program like what you're creating, it would have been monumental. So she's not my only story like that. Well, it is more than you know.
I'm sure that we'll be working together again in the future on that. I just want to do a quick, rapid fire question to kind of get to know you, and then we're probably going to close out. I really appreciate you coming on here and doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure we'll do it again.
Yeah.
All right, Anna, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite styling product of all time?
Davines dry shampoo, because I never wash my hair. Don't tell anyone.
Okay. Hair show or quiet night in?
Hair show.
All right. And what's in your bag today?
Ooh, because I'm usually carrying swatch books, shampoo. I had a whole order for you when I got here. My bag doesn't have anything fun. It's small. There's nothing in it. But what's in my car?
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah. I have enough product in my car to style everyone in the salon. I also have some color in there, so everyone's getting their hair done. I have snacks for everyone in the salon too, because I don't always have time to stop for food. And like I said, I am prepared for every season under the sun. So anything from flip-flops to snow boots, an umbrella, a jacket, all of the things.
I
love
love
some Pokemon cards in there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for coming in. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap for today. Keep showing up, keep learning, and keep making the world a more beautiful place, one head of hair at a time.